Welcome to Modern Psychedelics, where we explore the transformations made possible through intentional engagement with psychedelics. This podcast will help you integrate high consciousness living into the everyday and deepen the work ignited by altered states. You can expect balanced and grounded conversations around therapeutic, ceremonial, and recreational containers. My name is Lana Pribic, your host and guide. I am a 3-time certified professional life coach, and I work with people who want to integrate higher levels of consciousness into their daily lives so they can feel more peace, fulfillment, and connection. After all, our time here on Earth is so brief, so let's make sure we're really living. The song you hear is called Lost Horizon by Peace Sign. All right, let's journey. If you have been feeling low on energy, sluggish, or just out of balance, I have something to share with you. It's a natural solution that's been used for centuries, Shilajit. You may have seen this black tar-like supplement all over the internet these days, and that's for good reason. I personally started using natural Shilajit this summer, and let me tell you, the energy boost is quite impressive. And that's because Shilajit resin is a naturally occurring substance that is found high in the Altai Mountains, and it's formed over centuries by a gradual decomposition of certain plants and by the action of microorganisms. This stuff truly comes directly from nature. Shilajit is an incredible Ayurvedic supplement. It's packed with over 80 minerals and fulvic acid, which helps to detoxify the body, support hormonal balance, and enhance nutrient absorption, amongst a plethora of other benefits. Not only have I noticed an increase in my energy levels, but even my menstrual symptoms have become almost non-existent. I noticed that when I take the Shilajit more consistently, my body does not get the cramps and the PMS symptoms that I usually do. So my go-to way of using Shilajit is I mix the natural Shilajit Nutri honey in my decaf coffee every morning, and I like that the honey just adds a little bit of sweetness. I personally love natural Shilajit because they are known for their premium quality Shilajit, which is rigorously tested, contaminant-free resin sourced from the pristine Altai Mountains. If you want to naturally increase your intake of vitamins and minerals and really feel these benefits, head over to naturalshilajit.com and use the code LANA10OFF to get 10% off your first order. That's Natural Shilajit, SHILAJIT.com, and Lana, LANA, 10 off to get 10% off your first order. I've linked that all for you in the show notes. Thank you so much to Natural Shilajit for sponsoring today's show. Let's get back to the episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Do you ever feel like everything in your life is happening all at once? I'm definitely feeling like that right now. I am currently sitting in a new home, in a new office space, on a new couch, with a new studio set up, on my new laptop. It's just a whole lot of newness, and it could not be more fitting because the whole purpose of today's episode is to announce my newest business venture. And I'm just as surprised as you guys are when I tell you that I am launching a product, something that I said that I was never going to do. But, you know, sometimes life just throws you for a loop and opportunities land in your lap and you just got to go with the flow. So welcome back. Welcome back. It's good to have you here. If you've been following along for a long time and you are tuning in to hear about the launch of my new company, or if you're brand new here, this episode is all going to revolve around this exciting news around my new brand called Kanna Wellness. Yes, they do call me Kanna Lana around here. My close friends call me Kanna Lana, and there is a good reason for that. So this has been more than 6 months in the making, and the day is finally here. The week is finally here that we are bringing this into the world. Call it a soft launch, if you will, but we are just kind of seeing how things go and going from there. So I'm going to share with you the inspiration behind Kanna Wellness, my new company, what it is, how my family has actually been very involved in this. I'm going to give you guys a little overview of what Kanna even is if you're brand new to this medicine. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about what we as a brand believe in, what we're doing, why we're a little bit different. And then we're going to end with some tips on how to incorporate Kanna into your daily life. So let's strap in. I can't even believe that I'm recording this. Thank you all so much for being on this journey with me for the last 4 years. It's just so crazy when you start one thing like a small little podcast with a $30 pair of headphones from Amazon, how it can turn into something that you never could have imagined when you first started that thing. So that is life. So for those of you who know what Kanna is, you may have heard me do an episode in the past with Ryan Luttrell, who is quite the Kanna expert, and learned a lot about Kanna in that episode. You may have also heard me on another episode with my friend Jenny, where we talked about how we were using Kanna as a microdosing medicine. So I've mentioned it here and there. If you know me personally, you know that I have just been loving working with Kanna for almost the last year. And so my introduction to Kanna started a long time ago, but it wasn't until earlier this year, after I did 5-MeO DMT, that I really started to connect with Kanna. I came back from 5-MeO and I was completely energetically shifted. I gave up caffeine to take part of that retreat, and I decided that I wasn't going to introduce caffeine back into my life. As a result of doing so much energetic processing and just going through such an intense process with 5-MeO, I was pretty drained, and I gave myself like a very chill first week back at work. But eventually we all have to go back to work. And what I found was that I was still like energetically recovering from the experience. I didn't want to go back to caffeine, and I still really wanted to focus and do well with my work. So Kanna came in as an incredible support to help me keep my nervous system in balance, which was a big integration piece for me. It also helped me stay off of caffeine, which it'll be a year in November that I've been off of caffeine. I probably won't introduce it back because I've become way too sensitive to it. But Kanna was this like really gentle, supportive energy that wasn't addicting and it wasn't stimulating. And it really got me through that transition phase of being a regular caffeine drinker to being still a coffee drinker, but a decaf coffee drinker. And then it also helped me to get back into the flow of work and life's obligations during what I would call a pretty challenging integration period, right? It was like all this stuff was coming up and I had this non-dual state to integrate. I had this concept of what, universal consciousness and universal love is. It was really big stuff. And yet I still had to be a human and function and do the things. So Kanna was like really the thing that helped me reduce some of that tension and helped me to stay compassionate and kind and loving to myself while still keeping me sharp and focused and energized. So because of my experience with Kanna during my 5-MeO integration, I became such a believer in Kanna. I became obsessed with it, in love with it. And then in conjunction with me exploring Kanna, my mother was also getting quite into it. So my mom has been sort of like a Kanna case study for me. She has pretty long-term chronic anxiety that's been untreated and in some ways unacknowledged. She microdosed mushrooms, like magic mushrooms in the past, but it was very hit or miss for her. I forced it on her and she liked it, but then there were some days where it wasn't great. And as you guys might know, mushrooms are sometimes good for anxiety and sometimes they can make your anxiety worse. So for her, when she discovered Kanna, she was like, this is so much better than mushrooms. It's more consistent. And the way that she describes Kanna is that it helps her to organize her mind, stay focused on her tasks, and maintain emotional stability through the day. And I'm just so happy for my mom because it's been so nice to see her just have better days, just have a little bit less stress in her life. And her interest in Kanna actually sparked completely naturally. She heard me talking about it on one of my podcasts and she came to me. So usually I'm the one kind of like pushing stuff onto her, but she came to me and she wanted to explore it. So all of this makes sense. Like all of this personal story sharing of my mom's experience and my experience makes sense because I will tell you a little bit more about Kanna, but it promotes mental clarity. It's a non-stimulating, non-jittery source of energy. So it's like you're energized, but you're not dysregulated about it. It's a very like natural grounding form of energy. It can help with mood regulation and it's an empathogen. So it promotes feelings of empathy, open-heartedness, connection, not only towards others, but also towards yourself. So this is why it can be greatly beneficial during integration, but also in recreational containers. So I'm just loving sharing a little bit about how I fell in love with Kanna and how pleasantly surprised I was that it played such a big role and continue. Like my mom still takes Kanna weekly, maybe not every day anymore, but weekly. So it's been a really beautiful unfolding. I would say my mom has taken Kanna consistently for 6 months or so. And even my brother, I don't think I've ever talked about my brother, but I have an older brother. We could not be more opposite. Whereas I'm a huge believer in psychedelics and mind expansion and plant medicines, he does not believe in it. And my brother has also opened up to Kanna and is pretty new to it, but he's incredibly closed off to things like that. So I actually saw him yesterday and he said that he is really enjoying it as a pre-workout. And I can see that he's making many positive changes in his life. So I'm so happy that he has Kanna to support him through that. So it's been such a beautiful family journey with Kanna, which is why this Kanna company, Kanna Wellness, is a family company that I am starting with my mom, and my dad as well is involved, but it's mostly me and my mom. I guess I'll share a little bit about how I decided to take this opportunity. So I've historically been known to say that I would never start a product company. I would never have a CPG, consumer packaged good product, online sales, SEO, moving product. That's something that does not appeal to me. It seems so challenging, so hard. And lo and behold, never say never. After the 5-MeO experience, I had a little bit of experience with Kanna and I had fallen in love with it. And this opportunity literally just fell into my lap. And I had an opportunity to start a company with a very potent and pure, high quality, ethically sourced Kanna extract. I had an opportunity to directly source it from someone who I trust. And they offered to help me start a company and they really encouraged me. And I was like, yeah, no. And then I sat on it for about 24 hours and I went back to this person and I said, you know what? Let's fucking do it. I placed a bulk order for some Kanna. I started developing the concept for the brand. I got my parents involved. They were really excited for it. They're going into retirement and are looking for things to keep them busy because they're, old school Eastern Europeans who never want to stop working. So it all just fell into place. And I find that after 5-MeO, I was in this space where I just got out of my own way. I was like, this is an opportunity that I'm going to take. It makes a lot of sense. I'm in the industry. I have an audience of people who are very interested in hearing about this. I'm in the space. I've been doing this for long enough now that like having another pillar of the business of modern psychedelics and Lana Pribic coaching and all of that, it makes sense to introduce a new pillar, a new income stream. And it just all worked out. So I've been developing Kanna Wellness since about, I want to say April of 2023. It's been really slow. I went months without touching it at all, but we developed a minimal viable product, let's say a website that has everything that we need to launch the product. And we just put no pressure on it. We said, we'll see how it goes. And if we love it and if it picks up traction, we're going to go for it. So this is me introducing this product to you. I think it's going to be amazing because there's currently no one in Canada who is selling Kanna and fulfilling from Canada. So we are the first to market here in Canada. And for my Canadian audience, it's such an honor to serve you and to be able to bring this medicine to you without having to, pay the import fees. I've already done that for you. So yeah, we will be serving the Canadian market and hopefully expanding to the States. So my American listeners, please don't drop off now because, if all goes well and if there's a demand for it, we're definitely looking to expand into the States. But since I live in Canada here and our fulfillment will be here for now, this is the market that we will be serving. So yeah, long story short, decided to launch and run this company with my parents. And it's so beautiful that I've reached a phase in my healing work, thanks to all the psychedelics, where I'm just in such a good place with both of my parents, especially my father, a relationship that I've really been working on over the years. And it's so cool that we're in a place now where we can actually go into business together. And I want to tell you a little bit about the brand. So Kanna Wellness, when you go onto the website and when you receive the product, I don't even have it on hand. I will grab it to show you guys who are watching on YouTube. You will see that the brand color is this terracotta orange. Now, this terracotta orange color it's my DNA. I am a Mediterranean girl. I was born in former Yugoslavia. We lived in the more seaside region of the old country when we were escaping from the war, mainly in Montenegro. My parents have purchased property in Montenegro. This part of the world is home for me. It speaks to my heart and soul in a way that nowhere else does. So that terracotta orange is, the color of the terracotta rooftops in the Mediterranean and the clay work. And it just reminds me of that part of the world. So Kanna Wellness is this fusion of the South African energy of the medicine combined with the Mediterranean region. And the thing about the Mediterranean region that I really want to infuse Kanna Wellness with is the very simple approach to wellness that we take in that part of the world. It's an approach that is very simple, very accessible. It's all about simple food, high quality ingredients, organic food from the earth, very simple movement like walking or swimming in the ocean, right? And really embracing natural remedies. The people of the Mediterranean and the traditional cultures that have used Kanna traditionally, the intersection there is that both groups of people go to nature first, and they go to nature for remedies, and they go to nature for answers. And I was born and raised this way, right? My mother always cooked home cooked food for her family, and she still does. And I've embraced this in my own life. She always knows which herbs or teas to use for certain remedies. So in my family, it's not that we're anti-pharmaceuticals. It's just that we have just been culturally trained to go to nature first and to embrace the natural remedies of nature. So Kanna Wellness as a brand is very inspired by the Mediterranean region and the approach to wellness that we take there. So the brand is definitely in its infancy, but as it grows, I really want the brand to capture that approach to wellness. And how can we make wellness and well-being and just feeling good and having good days, right? Like I'm just thinking about my mom here. Like, how do we just have good days, right? Because our days make up our lives, the days of our lives. Our days make up our lives. So how do we have good days? And how do we do that in a way that is simple and approachable and sustainable? And to me, Kanna is that. It's really simple. It's a flower that grows in the desert in South Africa, and the extract that we offer is very pure and potent. There's no fillers, nothing. It's just simple and pure and accessible. We're making it accessible to the Canadian people through the company. It's legal in Canada. There's no legal issues or worries that you need to deal with Kanna. And so it just feels very aligned to infuse this brand with this ancestral and cultural lineage that is where I am from and where my family is from, being a family-owned company. So that's the vibe, that's the mood, that's the messaging of the brand. And I hope that you join us on this journey to simplicity and accessible wellness. And Kanna is an amazing example of what nature has to offer to us. And a fun fact about Kanna, and we talked about this on the episode with Ryan Luttrell, is that the alkaloids in Kanna have been studied by a pharmaceutical company called Zembrin. And Zembrin actually has a pharmaceutical grade Kanna product that is available for people who are dealing with anxiety and depression. So it has been studied to be effective for that. Okay. Not only can it naturally improve mood and naturally promote non-jittery energy, it's also been clinically shown to be useful for both anxiety and depression. Now, our Kanna extract is not that pharmaceutical grade. It's a consumer grade, but it's a very high alkaloid consumer grade product. So a lot of the Kanna that you can get on the market right now, like you can get Kanna tea, for example, at Whole Foods. I haven't seen this, but I've heard about this. You can get Kanna products at health food stores. There are a number of Kanna companies out there. However, what differentiates Kanna Wellness's extract is that it's 8 times more potent than most of the Kanna products on the market. A lot of people take Kanna and they don't feel it. And that's because it's not a potent enough strain, and the alkaloid profile isn't strong enough to have a felt effect. With our Kanna, you will experience a felt effect. And the reason that some Kanna products are not producing a felt effect is because they might not be grown and cultivated in the areas and come from the strains in South Africa that produce those high alkaloid Kanna strains. And our growers and extractors in South Africa are working with these high strain products. So you will feel a felt effect as long as you are not taking medications that interact with the Kanna. So yeah, that's a little bit about Kanna, a little bit about the brand. I'm smiling so big because I cannot believe the day is here that I'm sharing this with you. And yeah, just wow. Again, extending gratitude for those of you who have been following along for years and years. Can you even believe where we are at? I want to get a little bit more into what Kanna is. I know I've dropped a little bit here and there about what Kanna is, but let's just present this to you guys in a little bit more of a structured format. So Kanna is an ancient plant that is native to South Africa. It only grows in a region called Kanna Land in South Africa. It's a desert area. And what Kanna is it's actually a succulent. And the alkaloids, the medicine, is found surprisingly in a flower that blooms from this succulent. And so the nature of flowers is very gentle, very warm. When you look at a flower, it just opens up your heart, right? And so that is the nature of Kanna. It's very gentle, but it's very effective. And that's why I love Kanna for a daily support, because it's gentle. It's not that boom, bang that you can get from a microdose of mushroom sometimes, where you're just doing work and then all of a sudden all this emotion comes up, right? It's very gentle, but effective. Just because it's gentle doesn't mean that it's weak. Don't get it wrong. By gentle, I don't mean that it's weak. It is definitely potent, but the felt effects are just, they feel warm. It feels like this warm hug. And that just speaks to the nature of what the plant is. Now, from my understanding, Kanna is an ancient medicine that has been used for time unknown in traditions and cultures within the Khoi and the San peoples of South Africa. And it's having this like resurgence in terms of it being shared outside of South Africa. And we are so grateful that it is being shared outside of South Africa. So when it was used ceremonially, right? But it was also used as a medicine for mood enhancement, stress relief, cognitive benefits, hunting medicine, just like iboga is used in a microdose level to assist with hunting, right? Kanna can be used similarly and has been used similarly. So these people, the Khoi and the San people of South Africa, who have historically worked with Kanna,
in ceremonial ways and in medical ways. They have some of the most ancient DNA on the planet. And this was actually tested. Ryan shared this in our episode. And Kanna has played a huge role in their cultural traditions throughout history. So this really is a sacred medicine. And it has a rich cultural history and lineage, which I am excited to learn more about as I learn more and more about this medicine.
Did you know that your problems don't come from the situations or circumstances themselves? Your problems are likely coming from how you approach them. More specifically, your problems might be coming from the level of consciousness that you approach them with. It's pretty simple. Here's how it works. Anytime something happens to you, you can approach the situation from various levels of consciousness. You can come from a low level of consciousness that perpetuates the problem and keeps you stuck, drained, hopeless, and under stress. Or you can come from a high level of consciousness that helps you move forward because you can more easily tap into creative solutions and access your intuition. The good news is that at any given time, you can choose how you show up and therefore have a massive impact on how your life unfolds. The trick is to be aware of all of the options available to you, which most of us aren't. We're stuck in our default modes, which is why most of us feel stuck and unable to move forward. But that job that you hate, your codependent relationship, or the numbing anxiety of not knowing your purpose in life can be the exact thing that moves you forward and gives you clarity as long as you're approaching it from a high level of consciousness. In my coaching program, I'll help you become hyper aware of your current approach and help you shift to higher levels of consciousness. By addressing those unconscious energy blockages keeping you stuck, we unlock flow, acceptance, peace, and joy in life. And this isn't woo-woo. I use a research-validated coaching method that's benefited thousands worldwide. So whether you're corporate or spiritual or both, this approach offers practical integration into daily life. And it happens to pair brilliantly with psychedelics. High consciousness living is achievable every day, not just during psychedelic experiences. Psychedelics surely illuminate the path, but it's our job to walk it every day. My coaching program will provide you with a grounded and operational way to integrate high consciousness into your daily life. I am currently onboarding new clients into my practice, so if you'd like to learn more about the program, visit modernpsychedelics.net/coaching. And if you're ready to do this work, go ahead and apply now and book a discovery call with me at modernpsychedelics.net/apply. I'll have both of those links in the show notes for you. All right, let's get back to the episode.
I want to tell you a little bit about the felt effects of Kanna. I've sprinkled it throughout this episode, but really uplifts mood. It boosts energy. It sharpens mental clarity, and it creates this empathetic, heart-opening feeling. It's a botanically diverse plant with about 28 active alkaloids that have a wide variety of benefits. The 3 alkaloids that we are working with in our extract is mesembrine, which helps with mood enhancement, anxiety reduction, and cognitive function. There's mesembronine, which promotes mood stabilization. It has anti-inflammatory effects and cognitive enhancement properties. And then delta-7 mesembronine, which has serotonin regulation and synergistic effects that enhance the overall therapeutic profile of Kanna. Now, Kanna is non-toxic. It's incredibly safe. Our Kanna is third-party lab tested for purity, which you can see on our website. It's non-addictive, it's not habit-forming, and it can be taken every day. Now, the more you take Kanna, the less you will want it. I don't know if any of you have done a microdosing protocol with mushrooms, and you reach a point where you're like, yeah, I think I'm good. Kanna is similar. It has this adaptogenic property where it helps the body to adapt to stress and restore balance over time as you use it. So the more you use it, the less you need it. And I'm definitely a testament to that. I went through a structured microdosing protocol with Kanna for 2 or 3 months after 5-MeO, where I was taking it 5 days a week, 2 days off, 5 days a week, 2 days off. But now Kanna is medicine in my medicine cabinet. It's a tool in my toolkit that I have on hand, and I may take it once a week, once every 2 weeks. Maybe I'll take it for a whole week if it's after a music festival and, you know, my serotonin is is suffering. It's a serotonin reuptake inhibitor. And I discovered this hack after taking serotonin depleting substances such as MDMA. Kanna is an amazing tool in my toolkit. It's a supplement in my toolkit that I will take to help rebuild serotonin. It's something that I use when I didn't really get the best sleep the night before and I just need a little boost of energy, right? I need that coffee without having a coffee. I'll sometimes just pop it into my decaf coffee and have it in that way. But usually I just very simply put it under the tongue. So the product comes with a little scooper and 2 little scoops is about 1 dose. I just pop that under the tongue in the morning and it just gives me that boost. It's something that I reach for when I just need that extra little bit of support. And I imagine it'll be really helpful during integration in the future when I do choose to go back to other medicines. So Kanna, the more you use it, the less you need it. So you might find that you might order 2 or 3 jars of Kanna from us 1 month after the other, right? A jar will last you about a month. And then you find maybe you need a jar every 3 months or when you run out. And it's something that you just want to keep on hand. I absolutely love it. And this is why I love plant medicine, because it can meet us where we're at. Nature adapts. And when we consume nature, we adapt to it. And we are nature. So it's all just adapting to each other. So another use case for Kanna, which is really exciting, is recreational use cases for it. So I have this friend who I met and we bonded over Kanna, and I saw him recently at Harvest Festival and we were talking about Kanna, and he was just such a believer in me building Kanna Wellness and supplying the Canadian people with this medicine, because he's had such a profound journey with using Kanna almost exclusively as his party drug of choice. And, you know, I have heard anecdotally that Kanna has helped people to get off of cocaine because our formulation can actually be taken intranasally. It has an amazing use case for recreational spaces. So for people who want to get off of more stimulating substances, for people who want to enjoy a party or a rave without crashing the next day, without introducing toxic substances to their brain, Kanna is an amazing alternative. So it can also be stacked with MDMA or psilocybin containing mushrooms. And overall, it's very low risk, but you want to watch out for interactions. You want to watch out for interactions with SSRIs, MAOIs. It interacts with iboga, ayahuasca, and prescription medications. So yeah, definitely consult with your prescribing physician if you are on medication of any kind and you want to try Kanna. But recreationally, I'm really excited about bringing this to the more conscious crowd in the rave scene. I plan on vending at festivals in the future and just introducing this to people. It's been really amazing for me lately. I've definitely been on a journey recreationally of pretty much shifting exclusively to psychedelic medicines. And I will do MDMA forever, probably, which is not a classic psychedelic, but even like ketamine is something that I have not really been resonating with lately on the dance floor. And it's just so great to have an option like Kanna that is there. It can be a cup of coffee. It can be a therapeutic. It can be support on the dance floor. I just absolutely appreciate how versatile it is, because it's not for a specific condition. It can be helpful for anxiety and depression, yes, but it is more about the state that it creates for you, right? It reduces the clutter in the mind. It helps you focus. It helps you stay sharp, wakes you up without making you crash later. And when you think about it, that state of being that Kanna helps to promote is very beneficial for a wide variety of use cases. So no matter where you're at, I hope that you consider introducing this into your life, because I really think that for most people, it doesn't hurt to give Kanna a shot. Of course, checking interactions and not mixing with any pharmaceuticals. But overall, low risk, non-addictive, and can just bring so much gentle energy and love to your life. So let's end on just a little bit more about Kanna Wellness. First of all, do you guys love the name? I love the name Kanna Wellness. Lana Kanna with Kanna Wellness. So Kanna Wellness, from my research, is the first official Canadian Kanna company to market. So for my Canadian listeners up there, no more paying duties and fees to get your products shipped over here. And so it's really exciting to be first on the market. There's obviously great benefits to that. And I just feel really fortunate to be like a first mover and to be one of the people in Canada who are probably going to be educating the people here at festivals, at events about this medicine, and to bring a plant-based product to Canadians who are seeking natural wellness alternatives. This is not like adaptogenic mushrooms. You know, I worked at an adaptogenic mushroom company, lion's mane, cordyceps, reishi, and it was like something that I believed was doing something, but I never actually felt the difference from adaptogenic mushrooms. This is something that you will feel the difference within the first few times of trying it. Once you get your dose right, you will feel it. Not only do you actually feel it, but it also has this adaptogenic property that is going to help you over time adapt to stress. So the other thing I love about Kanna, like I mentioned, it's legal. It's not an illegal product. It's not psychedelic. It's a natural health product in Canada. You just have to be careful that the Kanna that you buy has a alkaloid profile that is actually going to create an effective effect that's going to create a felt effect. So you don't have to worry about breaking any laws when you own, buy, or consume Kanna in Canada or the United States. So the other thing I want to highlight about Kanna Wellness is the purity and potency. You really will feel this Kanna extract. The thing that you want to pay attention to is the alkaloid profile, as I mentioned. So our product has a 5% total alkaloid profile, which is, from what I do know, that is pretty potent when it comes to Kanna alkaloid profiles. And so that actually brings it to being about 8 times more potent and pure than any other Kanna product that you will find on the market. Because it's an extract, it doesn't have anything else in it. So it makes it very pure. Our Kanna extract is also third-party lab tested for purity, the results of which can be found on our website under lab testing. And this product is ethically sourced from Africa, from South Africa. And we are ensuring the highest alkaloid content for maximum benefits. I personally know the cultivator, the grower, the person who is in charge of the Kanna farm operation and the proprietary extraction system. And this person is incredibly passionate and devoted to bringing high quality pure Kanna to the market. And so it's also ethically cultivated and extracted in South Africa. So like I said, we purchase our Kanna, just for transparency, directly from a cultivator in South Africa. So they farm it, they cultivate it, and they extract it in South Africa. And they also have a direct benefit sharing agreement with the Khoi and San people. And so what that means is every time I purchase Kanna from this supplier, 3% of what I buy goes directly back to the people. And so as our brand grows at Kanna Wellness, we intend to create our own benefit sharing agreements so that we benefit share on 2 levels. First, when we purchase Kanna from our supplier, and second, when our customers purchase Kanna from us. And, it's a brand new company. We're still doing research on how to best do this. As I am learning, it's incredibly challenging to actually put benefit sharing agreements into place because you can't just infuse a culture and a community that isn't used to a ton of money with a ton of money, because it really disrupts the fabric of their culture. So we are doing research currently on how to best give back and support in a way that doesn't disrupt the culture. and their community and society. So that's definitely a longer term intention. But for now, know that we are benefit sharing through our supplier. And the last thing I want to say about the company is that Kanna Wellness is family owned and operated. Like, we're doing this as a family. Like, my mom is doing fulfillment. My dad is in charge of, I guess, supply chain management. Like, my dad sources things. I'm doing marketing. I'm sharing this medicine with the world. I'm in the role of the educator and the front-facing person of this company, but we all really believe in it. We're a small family-owned company. My family is not wealthy by any means, and so this is really something that's going to support not just me and what I'm doing and my mission in the world, but also support my family and my parents who are immigrants and, deal with the struggles that come along with that. So yeah, the brand itself is a tribute to where I come from and the simplicity of life and wellness in that part of the world. It's a beautiful collaboration between me and my parents, and I hope that you will support us and at least come check out the website and share it with a friend. I hope that you enjoyed learning a little bit more about Kanna, a little bit more about this company that I have been so tight-lipped about and not sharing with anyone. If you want to get started with Kanna, here are some practical tips. So our extract does offer flexibility in dosing with this very easy to use powder form. So we always encourage people to start with about 25 to 50 milligrams, and you can do that using the little dosing vessel that we include in your order. See how that feels and go from there. For most people, 50 milligrams is the sweet spot, and most people don't really need to go much beyond that for the day-to-day usage. I encourage you to treat it like a microdosing protocol. So even though a dose of Kanna is 20 to 50 milligrams, it's not a quote unquote microdose. You can treat Kanna like you would a regular microdose. So you can I would commit to 1 to 3 months and do 5 days on, 2 days off, and journal, evaluate how you feel, have a goal, have an intention, have something that you want to work on, right? And just notice the effects on those off days. Notice how you feel. And as you continue in your microdosing protocol with Kanna, take note of how different your off days start to feel. Remember how I talked about the adaptogenic properties of Kanna? It should help you over time reduce the amount of stress that you feel and change the way that you respond to stress over time. It's not a magic pill. It does take reflection, but it's a pretty incredible, magical little plant, if I may say so myself. And you can also use this recreationally at parties or at raves. Please check interactions before mixing with other substances, though. You can dose about 75 to 100 milligrams. If you want a more intense, energizing experience that would be supportive to a dance floor environment. You don't want to go over 200 milligrams in a day, though, which is quite high. So just, keep that in mind. But if you want to get started with Kanna and really allow it into your life, into your medicine cabinet of natural remedies and adaptogens and herbs that support life, I really encourage you to support the family business, get started. If you don't love it, we have a 30-day money-back guarantee, and we guarantee that you will love the product. We really appreciate the support. It means so much. And if you want to place an order, I would so love to gift you 10% off of your order with the code Lana, Lana, and that will be an ongoing code. So it should work no matter when you're listening. If it doesn't work, just DM me on Instagram and I'll send you an updated one. And we would absolutely love it if you try this for yourself. And if you love it, share it with your friends and family, and that you allow Kanna to help you let life in. And I'm going to leave you with that. That is the tagline of the brand. Let life in. Because it's not just Kanna, but this lifestyle of allowing wellness and life and health to be very simple. It allows you to let life in and be fully present and experience grounded, present days where you're actually living in your life. You're actually experiencing your life and not just a victim to it. And through that presence, you start to realize that you're actually the creator of your life. So this is really powerful stuff. So I hope you let life in with Kanna. Hope that you enjoy this episode. So it's kannawellness.com. We're currently only shipping within Canada. If you're in the States and you want some, DM me. And I just want to keep track of like how high the demand is over there. We currently have only one formulation, the energy formula, which is really ideal for people who want more clarity, focus, sharpness, while also balancing mood and promoting open-heartedness. And if you want something that's very gentle, much more gentle than mushrooms or LSD, but also in some ways more effective, use Lana at checkout. It's going to save you 10%. And please share your thoughts, your experiences, your questions about Kanna on kannawellness.co on Instagram. Please follow us over there. It's a brand new account. It doesn't even really have any posts right now. That's kannawellness.co, KANNAWELLNESS.co on Instagram. And then kannawellness.com is the website. Let me know what you think. Remember, this is just launched, so we are, we have a lot more ambitions and goals for building the brand and company. And if you do try our product, please leave a review. Let me know how you like it. Let me know if there's anything that you would like us to improve on and anything else that you would like to know about Kanna. So kannawellness.com, Lana at checkout, Lana at checkout. Please share the website and the product with your friends and family. If you are a longtime listener and supporter of the show, it would honestly just mean so much to me and my family if you share the word and spread the word with your loved ones in Canada. Thank you so much for your continued support of the podcast, for supporting me and my work. And I'm just genuinely so excited. I have no idea what's going to happen or where we're going to go from here, but we're going to see. We're going to find out together. Thank you for being on this ride with me. This is just the beginning of something great for both of us as a lifelong believer and explorer of natural plant-based solutions for holistic well-being and really approaching life and wellness from a 360 approach. I feel that this is the perfect little addition to everything that I am doing and wanting to share with the world. All right, everyone, send you a big hug, a big Kanna warm hug, and I'll catch you in the next episode.
Thank you so much for listening to and supporting the show. To stay in touch, sign up for my mailing list, which can be found in the show notes or on modernpsychedelics.net. If this episode sparked something within, please let me know by leaving a review of the Modern Psychedelics podcast on Apple and Spotify. This really helps to share these messages with those who need them, which is the whole reason why I do what I do. And if you haven't already, come join the ongoing conversation over on Instagram with other beautiful souls. We have an incredible and conscious community over at the handle Modern Psychedelics. And don't forget that the work begins after you come back down to earth. And I'm standing shoulder to shoulder, doing it with you.